Hey everyone. So, with this chapter, we get to know a little bit more about Yotsumura, both from Shiba and Nagamo, recounting their past with him and getting more personal characterization as well. But at the core of both instances, the one thing that is made clear is that Yotsumura is out for revenge against the JAA. Now, this is where things get interesting, because after learning that Yotsumura was the one who hired the assassins that Nagamo and Shiba were pursuing, he very quickly and efficiently cuts them down and cuts down to the ones that survived. But where things get interesting, however, is in Yotsumura's monologue from beforehand, where he espouses his thoughts on revenge, freedom, and the nature of assassins. Where it's very clear he is in no way associates himself with Uzuki, and at least from the outset, seems like he's more so using the chaos that Uzuki is causing in order to fulfill his own ambitions. He's using the chaos to his own advantage. The question, although for me, the question becomes where Amane ties into all this, because yeah, I think we definitely need to talk about the boy, because it's a real twist that Amane has been in contact with Uzuki's group this whole time, and after getting in touch with Kashima, is given the order to destroy the database. And given Amane's immediate reaction to the order, I think it's fair to say he knows who or what the database is. And honestly, the one thing that stuck out to me about this chapter as a whole is I feel the further things progress with this arc, the more I think Amane is going to find himself stuck at that crossroads where he has to decide what is more important, his personal vendetta, or just what is the most what is the morally righteous path, and what is the actual right thing to do. And in saying that, this chapter did bring up an interesting question for me, which is Amane even aware that his father's alive? Because based off everything we've seen of Amane so far, and especially the moment with Taro recognizing Amane as someone familiar, my bet right now is that he doesn't know that his father's alive, or at best he learned the JA had covered up the fact that his father is still alive, and is doing all this in the hopes that at best they can pretty much be reunited. But at the core, it is still very much that. But it is still interesting how both father and son have basically the same goal of revenge. It's really just for basically completely different reasons, and seemingly have. But at the core of both, their motivations are kind of what's shrouded in mystery. Like, we can glean some things here and there of what they're trying to do, and what they're hoping to gain from basically revenge on the JAA. But yeah, they're both, a lot of their motivations for and reasons for doing this is still the part that does need answering for. Although I think in Yotsumura's case, it is kind of fair to say that like he said, his motivations are actually more clear cut than Amane's, where he says, yeah, he just wants to he wants to live life like pretty much free for basically persecution. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be chased. He doesn't want to be jailed. He just wants to live a pretty much free life away from it all. So it's like in some ways, like between father and son, I think Yotsumura honestly has weirdly more noble goals for wanting revenge against the JA, whereas with Amane, it's definitely a little more vindictive, and he generally wants like the JA destroyed for what they did to his father, whether or not he's aware that they're alive or not. With that said, there is a moment I do want to talk about, which is that ending where we see Akira just sitting by her lonesome eating her lunch. Now, the question is, why do I want to talk about this moment? Because for me, this one moment is what is kind of indicative of a problem I've been having with this arc so far at the moment, which is we're about, I'd say, 30-40% done with this arc, and so far the only thing that's been lacking for me has been the character dynamics. We've gotten little moments here and there, but not enough for me to care as much as I want. And frankly, the one thing I'm most surprised about is how little we've gotten of Akira. Like I'm sure this critique will age poorly within the next couple chapters, but yeah, even knowing how Suzuki operates when it comes to his story structure, I kind of assumed we would have gotten a lot more with Akira, but I guess the logic there is that that was the whole point of the previous arc, getting all her characterization there, and now this arc is just about waiting for the pinned truth to drop on her finding out about her aunt. But even using that logic, it still feels like she's been largely sidelined right now, and just that one moment we got with her at the end of the chapter, I feel could have been used more productively to show her like searching around campus for her aunt rather than just seeing her eat lunch. Like I don't know, maybe it's just again, I don't know, maybe it's just me and like me wanting a little more meat with a character that I feel hasn't gotten enough screen time lately. But and and I'm sure this critique is gonna age like milk within the next couple chapters, but again, I am just I'm still liking this arc, but I am feeling a little underwhelmed right now at the lack of focus on just character dynamics within the last couple of chapters, and just hoping we return to a little bit of that, whether it's Taro and Akira or Shin and Natsuki or something, just some kind of character dynamics to kind of sink our teeth into. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe from Blue Sky, Analyst Crunchyroll, be sure to notification bell, the subscribe button, and shit around, guys. Dark Knight of Inouye signing off. Later, everyone.